keep getting recently today, I keep getting notifications from virus stuff.
Okay, I think we're good. Okay, so I think this is it for the day, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see is Christina gonna be joining? Okay. Not, I mean, Zoom via Zoom or, okay. Oh, there she is, okay. All right, I think that's pretty much everyone. I know that Rashid can't make it today. Um, so we'll go ahead and get started. Okay. So let me see if I can get back to where we're going. So we're gonna keep working on the project. Um, if you go back to, or let's see, I didn't add any new stuff this week, so we're sticking on week 12 because that's still the project. So if you go to week 12, yes. Oh, I'm sorry. That would probably help, right? There we go. So, all right. That's why I brought the new computer or the old new computer. Okay. All right. So week 12, and if you go to research project updated and research project spring 2024, et cetera, with steps. This is where we started last time or last week. That's correct. Yeah. Oh, and that reminds me that I printed out. I brought you guys some copies. You already have one, right?
No. So you just made it. Okay. Why did you come?
Yeah. Okay. So just as a little refresh from last week. So I think I went through all the stuff up to the material that was due today. So the whole research project, we went through that a little bit last week. And the two items that were due today is the stuff we went through together last time, which is the trend line forecasts and the CAPM analysis, both due today. And I asked you to put it in this discussion area. So on Blackboard, under discussions, you'll see that there's one forum, student research projects, please post items by due dates. And I know that there's some students that have already turned it in before the the deadline today. This is not like, I'm not gonna give you a grade on this part. I'd just like you to do it in parts so I can give you comments, and you'll notice that everyone that turned it in, I looked at their analysis. I either said, looks good, or I recommended some changes, depending on who. So I recommend posting it here so I can take a look at it. And then if there's anything you need to change or anything I want to recommend, I can do that here. And I'm not going to grade you until the end. So if you haven't posted it here, just post the one Excel file with the CAPM and. Okay, sound good? Okay, so what I want to do today is continue on the two materials, or the material that's due next week, which is to do the simple forecasting part in RStudio and also the trend and seasonal dummy variable analysis on RStudio. So you won't need all the Excel tools today. You will need to format your document if you haven't done so already, and be able to upload it into Excel, and I'll show you how to do that. And then I think for next week, I don't know how to recommend. I might just um, recommend that you post some screen caps. I'm not sure how easy it is to save the the RStudio file and post it in Blackboard. So we'll just I'll 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 give you some examples of what to post, but just so I can see kind of what your analysis looks like. So we'll try to get through the simple forecasting and then the trend, and that'll complete all your analysis, and that'll be due next week. So if you missed this part last week, I broke the project down into parts. Kind of the first part of the analysis due today, the second part of the analysis due next Saturday, um, the research paper due May 18th, and then the PowerPoint due May 25th. And like I mentioned last time, that you're not required to present, but I'm not going to grade you on it. But I'd recommend, if you want to get some experience, it's not going to hurt you. You're going to definitely need to present something at some point. And even if you're remote, it's still beneficial because, I can't tell you how much most presentations that I do or participate in these days are remote. So just because you're not in person doesn't mean it's not going to be valuable because, you know, Teams and WebEx and Zoom, whatever you want to call it, those aren't going away, and you're going to be asked to do. Uh, my guess is you'll be asked to do many presentations remotely in your coming years. So good practice there. Okay. So we will start where we left off, which I believe is step 4, right? Okay, so any questions on anything prior before we proceed? If you're not caught up with I can try to help you after the demo too, but everyone at least kind of caught up?
Yeah.
Okay.
I turned in everything.
Oh, cool, all right. Okay, so now we'll do some RStudio stuff. I don't think this will take as long as uh, the previous. And actually, I want to mention one thing on what we did last time, just so we're. Okay, so just to show you my example. Okay, so just to mention the trend line, I know that a lot of you chose a non-linear option. And I think we went over the trend line part we've done a bunch of times, but we hadn't done a lot of nonlinear options. And I think because most of the stocks you chose likely, were kind of flat and then all of a sudden took off at some point during the dot-com era and so on. So if it's a tech stock and it's been around for a while, likely there was some kind of boom, and that led to, like, if you used a straight line or a straight regression, it wouldn't fit it very well. So basically, most, if not actually all, uh, I haven't seen your trend line yet, finalize it yet, Brian, but all the ones I've seen so far have used some kind of nonlinear option, and that's
Mine, it
looks like that. Yeah, and that's because the growth of the stock is nonlinear. It's grown more than like a 1-to-1. And so just to kind of, I think most of you either chose an exponential or something like this. And the equation you typed in, you probably didn't think too much about it, just as long as you got some numbers. But if you look at something like this, there's two x components. And the reason we have those is because the effect of x on y is different when you go from, like, earlier periods to later. So something like this would tell you that, like, early on in, like, the first 100 observations, the effect of x on y is actually very minimal. Like it's almost just like a straight line. And then as X gets bigger, that effect becomes bigger and bigger. So that's what something like this would tell you. And I think I even recommended uh, one of the research trend lines to use a higher order polynomial, which means you have like an X third and X fourth. And that's because I can't remember what stock it was. I think it was NVIDIA, and that one was like skyrocketing. So if you didn't like incorporate the really big high growth rate, then so that's telling you that if you use like x to the cube or x to the fourth, yeah, I don't want to get too calculusy on you, but that's just telling you that as x keeps getting bigger, um, the effect of x on y is not the same. It gets like here when x is small, the effect is something pretty minimal, and then it starts getting bigger. And then for someone that had like an x to the cube, that means at higher levels the effect is even higher. Right? And then if you use like an exponential trend line, that just means you hear this term all the time, probably not used properly, but when something's growing exponentially, that means each time it's growing a little bit more than it was before. So uh, pretty much all the ones you're using are some way to say that as X gets bigger and bigger and bigger, meaning that time goes on, we expect this stock price to keep getting higher. And that's pretty much what I haven't seen anyone choose a stock that hasn't gotten a lot better over time. Doesn't mean it's going to be, the next month or so, but, um, and I'll even show you this, if this one is an example. So this was, sorry. Okay, so this was just a NVIDIA screen cap that I looked at. Hopefully this opens. Yeah, and so if you see this stock, this NVIDIA stock, it went about 200 observations, was pretty cheap, and then look at it, it's gone up exponentially. So if you expect this trend to keep going, then you got to see how I recommend it like to the fourth order polynomial. So that's telling me that, doesn't mean this is going to continue forever, but until you get some better information, it looks like I mean, I don't know a whole lot about it. But it's a tech company, but I don't know that. Does anybody know about NVIDIA? Yeah, but whatever it is, it's really in the last year. I don't know how many observations. It's really gone up. So I don't know if that's going to continue. But it's of the stocks I've seen so far from the class, that one has really grown the most recently. And I'm not. Let's see. Oh, it's an AI thing. That's um. So Silicon Valley graphic design, like you said. Um, Cloud storage. Yeah, it looks like they're just kind of anything that's up and coming and now it's AI is they're kind of just getting in there. So it looks like, I don't know a whole lot about the company or anybody that works there, but um, Silicon Valley, it's public. They got into graphic design, they got into cloud storage, got into gaming, um, got into AI, and so it looks like kind of what's ever hot in tech. But not really into like um, you know content or videos or more of the behind the scenes stuff. So looks like they're doing something right. I don't know. Okay, so and then I think the CAPM analysis everyone kind of got a pretty good grasp on. So I won't cover that anymore, but just wanted to cover that part. Okay. Uh, Step 4. All right. So again, we went through together up to the end of step 3 last time, and so we'll continue, and I'll do step 4, 5, and just the table today, and that'll give you all the stuff you need to turn in the analysis. And then all you gotta do next is write about what you found. And I recommend doing the paper before you do the PowerPoint because it's it's a lot more difficult to summarize everything in a few slides. So I'd recommend do the paper first and then try to summarize what you found in the slides. Even though it seems like the PowerPoint's like the easiest thing to do, but it takes a lot of cutting to simplify what you want to show. Okay. All right, step 4. So simple forecasting methods. Let's compare the methods and determine which method yields the best 1-year forecast for your stock. Mean, naive, seasonal, naive, and drift. Okay, so just one more thing before we start is I noticed that we prepped into May. So that means that if you started this analysis before May, you're predicting this month. But if you happen to download your stock in the last few days, you might have May in there. So the point is that if you have May in there, you can use it. If you didn't put it in there already, don't go back and do it. Just if you have I guess if you haven't started this project yet, which I hopefully not, but you could incorporate May in there because it's now available. Okay, so part A is open up a new Excel workbook, XLSX format, and call it your stock ticker name in lowercase letters. For example, mine is SCHW. Okay, so just to start from scratch, I'm going to open up an Excel document. I'm going to file, save as. Make sure it's Excel workbook.xlsx, not CSV, right? Yeah. That's not the first time someone's learned that lesson. So I've learned that lesson before, but yeah, don't do a lot of work on a CSV file because sometimes it doesn't keep those changes. Okay, so I'll call this SCHW, I think is what. Okay.
So that's where they will.
Yeah, so you'll call yours like race, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's what. Okay, I'm gonna save this on the desktop. I already have that there? No, I don't. Let's just save it there. Okay, now the next part is you're gonna open up your previous Excel analysis that you turned in last time or are turning in. So from your original master tab, copy and paste all values in close column into the new workbook that you just created. Let's do that. Yeah, so I'm gonna open up the previous example, which looks something like this. Yeah, master data, you're right, yeah. So copy and paste all the closing data. So basically everything in column B in probably your master data. And some of you might have like the other things from Yahoo Finance, which is fine. I have just the date and the closing. And again, you're gonna take all the data in column B, except the closing label. So for example, starting in B2, again, the shortcut to select everything is Shift Control down. All right. Okay, and then the shortcut to copy is Control C. And then we'll go back to the new thing with nothing in it yet, and the shortcut to paste is Control V. Okay? And you can leave it with the $sign, it won't make a difference. But what you want here is just in column A, you want all the closing data, and nothing else in the file. Okay? So we're gonna save that. Okay? Yeah?
No, I had to review this twice. So both are,
Okay, so in this one, you have just the closing data, all right? And then nothing else. And then you're gonna save it, um, close it, and then make sure you know where the document is so you can locate it when you import it. Okay. And then also, for now, just leave the, other one open, the old thing with the master data and stuff, because you need to reference the date range in RStudio when you set it up. So I'm gonna need to tell RStudio that my data goes from October 87 to April 2024. And everyone's most likely gonna have a different range because everyone's stock went public on a different date, I think. I mean, it's possible there's a crossover, but unlikely. Okay, and then so your new workbook should have all the closing price for your column in stock A. Your new workbook should have all the closing prices for your stock in column A. Okay, so we did that. And then no additional data should be in the new workbook. No dates, variable names, etc. And then you can close this new Excel workbook, for example, SCHW, and then we're to prepare to import.
is there anything you want to put, like, label that? New sheet, like, new,
Well, the new sheet, you'll call it like lowercase stock ticker name, right? So mine is like this, SCHW. Okay, then let's go to RStudio. Okay. And let's do, so I'm assuming everybody has, what's it called? Uploaded or downloaded the package, but just to clarify if we haven't, I actually had to do it just now because I realized I didn't have RStudio or R in this laptop, so I had to download it just while you guys were walking in. So if you haven't done this step, go to packages uh, and install, and you want to install the FPP package, which is the one that goes along with that online textbook I linked, Forecasting Principles in Practice. So if you haven't done this, hit install.
I guess, so there's a new version of it.
Oh, you want this, the old version? Yeah. So if you haven't done this, install it, and it'll do the stuff and say like it's installed. If you've already done this, then you don't need to do it again.
So if it's already checked on your RS Studio, that means you've already done it?
I believe so, yeah. You
Okay.
probably have done it because you turned in the homework using it,
Yeah.
homework. Yeah, so I think just to FYI in case someone's still catching up. Oh, you can just uncheck them. Uh-huh. Yeah,
So you put files, right?
packages, and then install. Yep, they are.
It's FTP, not 2 or 3.
Just FPP, yeah. Oh, is that, so it, Oh, okay, well, I don't know. Uh, I see what you're saying. I don't think we're gonna use those things, but if it, does, I get, yeah, okay.
Our tools, I will our package, not only installed. And then on the bottom, it says package execute successfully.
It, let me come check.
I assume it's in, but when I see red, I think that.
I think it's fine. I mean, let's see. Well, let's start, you've used it before, right? It was work, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay, let's try. And so just, yeah, install the FTP package if you haven't already. I'm not sure about those required, add-on packages. You can go ahead and install them. I don't know if we're gonna use them, but, if we need to do something else, I'll get back. Okay. So now let's open RStudio. We did that. And import the new Excel doc, which is the lowercase stock ticker name you just created. So we'll uncheck the first rows name box because there is no name, and then we'll confirm. And well, let's do that first. Okay. So back to RStudio. So if you haven't already uploaded, let's do File, Import Dataset from Excel. Whatever that is, just hit yes. Okay, so if you got a pop up and it said yep, yep,
Whenever you get a chance, I know what's wrong, everything's grayed out.
grayed out,
Yeah, there's only when you import or anything like that.
okay. I'll come take a, yeah, I'll come take a look in a second. Okay, so,
It's saying correctly. I can assure you that.
yeah, okay, and then if you got to this, import Excel data window, you're gonna browse for the, Excel document you just created with the lowercase stock ticker names, so. There it is, and hit open. And then before you import, there's a box that says first rows is names, uncheck that. And then hit import. Okay, and then you should see that you have all your data here, up in the top window. And there should be the same number of observations that you had. And I'm gonna come look at France. I'll be right back.
Whatever it did, Matthew, I did it the other one, what's letting me doing, but now this is letting me.
Yes. And then browse. Uncheck that. This is first row names. Yeah. It seems like there's
So, so the other question. It said I had to do all this stuff. So here, so this is the one that I added. And then this.
Yeah, the problem with one of the maps, which is the same thing, but just that was less. Either one should be the same thing. It was up on the end. But you gotta.
Catch up.
Here we go. Okay, let's see. Okay, so now we've imported the data set, and I'm just gonna double check that. So I'm gonna open up my Schwab document. I should have 439 observations. And you're obviously gonna have a different number because you have different months. So I'm just gonna double check in RStudio that I have that many, which I did. Yep. And you can even check if you want, just like the last number is 74.26. Looks like that's what I got. So just take a one little quick glance at your data and make sure it looks like what you wanted, what it looked like in Excel. Okay. Okay. Where are we? So step C. Yeah, confirm your data looks consistent. All right, we did that. C. Open up the R code text document provided by the instructor. So I put under week 12, under research project updated, you'll see R code text document. Okay, and this should have everything you need to do the analysis for today. You can do it one of two ways. You can either cut and paste it and then modify it in RStudio, or you could save this as a different text document and modify it there. There's not a whole lot to modify, so I'll just kind of do it with these general commands and then modify it in RStudio. But if you want to kind of save this as a separate text document so you don't have to modify it, you can do that too. Yeah. No? No go?
No, it's still doing, still doing that. It's not the numbers, it'll be like 46.75, 46.3, 4,997.
Yeah, I don't think that matters, as long as the title's not in there.
Yeah, so the title not in there, so it just says, so if I'm gonna work with this, if I was doing something out like.
It looks, oh, I see. See, you want to get that code, the person's code. That should be, that's the issue, not the, not the this. This one should be. So where's the Excel that says raise?
I'm so sorry. I'm getting back.
No. All right. Oh, shit. My cord, good thing it's
I have
not.
a question, Dr. James Hoffman.
Yeah, yep.
The text that you have given us last time, the library FFF. So the way I have done is that, remember you have given library FFF, number file, import, and then from Excel. Then you have given step by step to change. So what if I follow IBM and then I follow the step and then don't change this number? All I do is like plot IBM, then I change, don't follow number, plot IBM. If I do that, is okay?
Yeah, I think so. We're gonna do that in a second just to check. Yeah.
So I'm not following the one you have right now because it's kind of confusing because I follow the other one.
Which other one?
The one from the main one you showed us.
Oh, okay.
So
So you-
you remember how you showed us library FF, then the file number sign file, and the number convert, and then you showed us how to change where you say you data. That's where you change, and that's where you copy and paste.
okay, so you mean like
Yes, yes.
save this file?
Right, on the top.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that right now just to make it.
Okay.
All right. So let's
I have done it already, but in a
okay.
different way.
Yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying. So let's do that. We have under week 12, R code text under research project. Why don't we, if you can open it up like in a window, and then right click it, and click save as, and then it's going to default to save as a text file. And you can call it whatever you want. You can call it your stock ticker name or project one or something. I'll just call it SCHW. And I'm going to save it here. Okay. Then that should save the document as a text document, which you can modify. And if you go to where you saved it, and you open it up, you will need some kind of notepad app or application, assuming, do you have that? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Brian, you got it?
I sure do.
Oh, great.
We'll see what happens after.
Okay, and there should be a default notepad. There's better ones like Notepad++, but we don't need to do that right now. So I will just open up the thing, and it should. Okay, got it. It should open it up in the notepad, and then in the notepad, you can make modifications. What?
Is yours when you have things that are highlighted in red?
That's just a spell check.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do.
Yeah. Okay. So we will work with this. And move on to the next step, which is, what are we? Load the FPP package. So first thing is go to the text document, copy and paste the command that says require FPP, Control C. Let's paste it in RStudio in the console area. And it should paste it right there. Enter. And it should either do nothing if you already have it loaded, or if you didn't install the package, it should say like, successfully, whatever. Okay, good, perfect. If it doesn't give you an error, then it's good. Okay, so I'm gonna basically just jump back and forth between. Retry this. Printer. Okay. Oh no, what happened? Oh, maybe it did. Whoops. Okay, well, it didn't save it, so let's get out of here. Don't save. Get out of here. Okay, so now next step is convert your data into a time series. So this is the next line of code, which is, and where every time I put your data, that means type in the name of your data set, okay? So your data would mean whatever you called your import document. So mine is SCHW, yours will be race, and then whatever yours is, whatever you called the text tag. Okay? No? Well, you probably might have just closed the
Then after race, just click enter.
Oh, no, we haven't got there yet. Okay, so in Notepad, we're gonna modify the code first. So your data means your data set name. So mine is SCHW. Okay, and then kind of leave everything except the things you need to change. So your data is your data set name. For me, it's SCHW. All right, this is the part where you have to get the date right. So look again, if you still have it open, or have it memorized, of the date range of your stock. So mine goes from October 1987. So I'm going to put that in here. So this one is the year, 1987. This is the month, 10 for October.
I
Right?
have a question, but you mentioned start is 2024 to 5th and end 2025 4th. We don't follow that?
Sorry, Noble, say that again.
You mentioned on the note to follow the date. May 2024 to April 2025.
So, okay, so just, I mean, this part, you're just because you have to specify the date range of your data, or else it won't recognize.
Oh, so I messed it up then. Okay.
Yeah,
So
so yours will say like, I don't know, it's like 1985 for yours, right?
1929.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
so the first year in your IBM data set goes here, and the first month, and then everyone here most likely is gonna have 2024 and then 4, because I think everyone's stock goes up to April 2024.
It goes all the way to 2024, my 1/4, right? So
That's
why I
right.
said-
Yeah. So everyone has a different starting date right here, and then it should go up to 4/2024. Okay?
So even though I do mistake on the R studio, if I redo the things, it will correct it.
Yeah, just do it again, and whatever you do most recently, it'll recorrect it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have to do it. Okay.
Yep. Yeah. So if you did this in incorrectly, just type that command in again, and it'll redo it. And then I'm gonna save. Okay. So if you've modified this, thus that this is your data set, this is your data set, this is your first year, this is your first month, this is 2024, and this is 4, and frequency is 12 because it's monthly data, and there's 12 of them in a year. Okay, let's copy and paste this code into RStudio. Let's hit enter. And if you don't get an error, it probably worked. Yeah.
I love how confident you sounded in that.
Sorry, what was the question?
I was gonna say, I love how confident you sounded in that. If you didn't get an error, it probably worked.
Well, that's the first lesson of coding, is if it doesn't give you red or error, then you're in good shape.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so we're good on this stuff?
Where it says raise, that's where you copy that. Can you go back one step?
This one?
Yeah. And then enter.
Yeah, everything is entered, yeah. And you put it in this part?
Yeah.
Okay, should be good then. Oh, let's, no? Raise, it looks fine. I mean,
Okay.
hold on. So the stock went public in November 2015.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Okay.
Because, yeah, so now
Does it
you're,
matter where the cursor's at? Where's the-
no, you probably just hit enter a couple times.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, now, let's plot the data for, and I just put, this is like a term we, QA, QC, anybody know what that means? Yeah. Quality assurance, quality control? Yeah. Yeah, something, yeah. So let's plot the data, and if it looks like there's nothing wrong with it, then we can continue going. But this is the quality control check here. You would just use the plot command, put in instead of your data, it's going to be your file name. So SCHW or race or whatever it is. Okay, let's copy and paste the plot command into RStudio. There it is, enter. And if you get a graph that looks like the one you put in, in Excel before you did the trend line, then it's probably, so just check there's no like sudden drops or like, yeah, see?
I got a very weird graph.
You got a very weird graph? Is it like, did you get a bunch of squares that are really small?
No. It's like a two. Is there any way I can send you? For you?
Well, why don't you share your screen real quick? You want to do that?
Yeah, sure. Can you see it?
No, let me, see. Okay, now you can share, I think. There we go, yeah. Oh, wow. That doesn't look, okay. So. Plot IBM. Can you make that, can you make it a little bit bigger? Yeah. It looks like you got some errors. Is the so put that in again, just plot IBM.
IBM?
Yeah. Error and something. Because it looks like your time series part went okay, but I'm not sure. Without,
Everything is good. You can have up to 782, something like that, you know.
yeah, that looks okay.
Everything seems good. I mean, I understand.
It's hard for me to see this.
You want to zoom it?
What's that?
I'll zoom it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to see if there's anything I can recommend, but I can't really tell without. Just looks like I'm not sure why I did it like that. Plot from. Yeah, I'll have to double check or I'll have to look at it.
Okay. Back.
Yeah. What? Number one, can you? Or here I'll once I finish up the exercise, I'll try to do yours for you, or try to do yours. Yeah.
All right. I gave you back the screen.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Sorry about that. I'll try to figure out why it's not plotting, but okay. Next step is. What time is it?
No, we keep going.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Next step is to choose or fit the 4 different simple forecasting methods, and then um, pick the one you like the best. So you're gonna basically try these 4 together, or 4 separately, whatever you want to do, but just change where it says your data to your data set name. So this is SCHW. This is SCHW. This is CHW. No, that's just like a title, yeah.
You can run off.
I think so. Okay, so just set them up so this is not, your data says your data set name. And I'm gonna try taking these four together. Fit one is for the drift method. Fit two is for naive forecast. Fit three is for mean. And fit four is seasonal naive. So if you copy all those and paste them in our studio there and hit enter, it should fit them all as long as you don't get an error. You got an error? No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Noble, does that part work, or are you still getting?
No.
I got an error.
You got an error?
Yes, on the RWF one.
But the other ones worked?
Well, I tried putting them all in, but it looked like it only tried to process the first one.
Okay, so okay, maybe try, yeah. So just try doing fit one again then.
And my one, the plot, the one you have given before, I had the plot, the age was 20, level 0, and then age was 20. And this one you have age is 12, so it's a little different. And
Okay.
you also put color over here. So this is the older one.
Oh,
I don't know. I have to go back and check it.
yeah. I'll have to take a look and see if I can help you troubleshoot.
Yours also from the first one, the one we did.
The plot?
Yeah, this is the one you gave us the first one.
Yeah.
We have to change the name and do it.
The only thing you have to change is where it says your data. That should say,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's it.
but the only thing was different that we did in Google. Remember the first one? From the Google.
You don't want, not Google. You want to use IBM, right?
No, I know, but example was Google.
Oh, it did with Google.
I can show you real fast.
Okay, sure. All right, hold on. Yeah. Go ahead.
Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see yeah.
This is the one.
Oh, you're using the old one.
Right. So I change everything.
Oh, okay. Can you, um,
So I can download the new one and do it. Okay.
do you want to try the newer one?
Yeah, that's how to do it. The old one. So I changed the whole thing, you know. I work on this one. Okay.
Yeah, that one's a bit different because it's plotting it's making a graph
Uh-huh.
with all four, but you don't necessarily need to do that step
Okay.
for this. But if you use the code that I put for this one,
Yeah, so I'm gonna go back and download from the other one.
okay. I think so, but
Wait, this one,
I tried to simplify. That's what, yeah. All right. How do I show where the fuck? I think so. Yeah. Okay. So we've got the fits. How about Christina, does yours work?
No, it did not. It kept saying it can't find the function RWF.
Hmm. Can you just try the next one? Like try
Yeah,
fit two?
let me give it a try.
Yeah.
I'll try all three. Can they be fit 2 and 2, 3, 4, even though they're not number 2, 3, 4?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's just a label for the fit.
Okay.
They can be fit.
Dr. Hoffman, when do you send the last one, the new one?
Oh, it's
What class was it? Do you remember?
so under week 12.
Okay, I got it. Thank you.
Yep, right there.
All right.
Yeah, it's a lot more simple than the previous one.
No, it's saying it can't find the function naive.
Hmm. So I wonder, did you type in require FPP
Yes, it did.
and it didn't give you any errors?
Didn't. Hold on. Try it again. Is it require?
Yeah, this one here.
FPP. Yep, got in there.
Oh, okay.
Couldn't find the function require. Oh, nope, I spelled it wrong. Hold on. Require. Alright. Alright, let me try all this again.
Okay.
Go ahead and continue. I'll catch up.
Okay. Okay, so we fit all the simple forecasting methods, yeah? And now let's plot them all. So this you don't have to change at all because you've already defined the fits. So if you just copy and paste fit one, plot fit 2, plot fit 3, and plot fit 4 into RStudio and hit enter, that should give you the plots of which you're choosing from. And you should get a plot for the drift method, which is the kind of like the trend, the naive method, the mean method or average method, and the seasonal naive. Yeah, there's like see the arrow here under plots? Okay. Then, where are we? We're on part D. Fit the 4 simple forecasting methods of your stock. Mean, naive, seasonal, naive, drift, and get 1-year forecast. That's what the 12 in there was for. Use the R code as a reference, so we did that. Part E, choose your best simple forecasting method by comparing plots and accuracy. Use R code as a reference. So all you have to do here is you can type in these if you're deciding between one of the two. You can use this to kind of help sway your mind because this will give you like the error measures for all the types. So why don't you just go ahead and take this group of commands, accuracy, fit 1, 2, 3, and 4, copy and paste it into RStudio.
Oh, wow.
Enter. Did it work?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Everything's good on my end.
Oh, great. So what that's going to do is give you a bunch of different common statistical error measures, which you don't have to know, but just to go through them, this is the mean error. which means this is the average error historically. This is the root mean square error, so this is the square root of the mean of the squared error. This is the mean absolute error, so it's the average without the negatives. This is the mean percentage error, the average percent off. This is the mean absolute percentage error, absolute value of this one. This is the mean absolute standard error, I think. And I don't know what this one is, but they're all different ways to measure how well the specific method fit your historical data. And if you're deciding between, let's say, like, let's look at the plots. So like, here's the drift, that's an option. Here's the naive, that's an option. Definitely not using that one. And this one looks like a risk because I don't think my data is seasonal. So really,
Oh.
yeah,
Sorry, I'm gonna stop you for a minute. How do you like? What are you looking for? Like, are you looking for low numbers, high numbers?
oh,
Like, how can you tell what's what?
yeah, that's a good question. You're looking for low numbers. Or low numbers, not, but don't worry about the negative. So the closest to zero, I guess.
Right, right, in an absolute form.
Yeah. So like, if I just, and some methods might not have the lowest error for all the types, but it might help you just kind of pick one. So if I was looking at just the mean error, I can see that this one is, much less than zero. It's 2.99 minus 16 or something. This one is 0.17. This one, anyway, they're all very, that one's too hard to. So the root mean squared error, 2.9, 2.9, 20, and 9.
So the
So-
2.9 and 2.9 would be valid ones to look at.
Yeah, and then you can kind of
Okay.
look at it a way like that, and then, but you can look at any of them. It's just giving you another way to kind of pick what, if you're deciding between two, I'd recommend choosing the one that has the lowest errors on average, but you don't really have to go through and, make a chart or anything, but yeah. But just, yeah, if you're looking at this one, it looks like, if this one's giving me an RMSE of 20, that's much worse than the 2s and the 3s. So, and then here's the MAE, I get 1.6, 1.6, 16, and 8. So it looks clearly that, which is likely the case for yours also, that the average and the seasonal are not very good fits. So you're probably choosing between either the drift or the naive. All right, and it looks like, if I'm just looking at these ones are both very low. These are about the same. These are about the same. This one did a lot worse in the MPE because if you remove the negative, and this one as well. So it's pretty clear that on average, fit 2 would be the best for mine. It's likely to be the case for yours because it's just these stocks are unpredictable, and likely using the naive method is the best guess. Yeah, a straight line at the last observation. Yeah.
What, for the naive?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what.
So that's how I'm kind of like just looking at them is, you can just go with the naive. You can go with the drift if you got a big trend, but kind of look at the error terms and you'll probably get an idea like I did is, just kind of looking through them. It's the first one's the hardest one to look at because this is like 16 decimals over, right? But if you look at the RMSE, 2.9, 2.9, 20, and 9, it's clear that these two are lower. MAE 1.6, 1.6, 16, and 5, it's clear the first two are lower. And then you start getting your breaking points. 9.7, 1200, and 8 looks like this one's the lowest. 15, 8, 1200 again, and 29 or something. And then 0.2, 0.2, 2, and 0.8. So
And it really got with a negative 3.5, and the naive
yeah,
3.72, and then it has three.
yeah, right. So it's likely that fit 2 is going to be your best fit, but you're welcome to kind of look at the error terms and decide for yourself. But no right answer here. Just kind of giving you an idea of if you think it's the best fit, you can probably use the error measures to confirm your eyesight. Yes. So does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm good.
Are we taking, when it comes to like the number set on the left and all the plots, are we taking a screenshot for those?
You're only gonna. I can't tell you what to get at the end, but the only thing you need is thus far is the plot of the one you chose, which I think is this one.
Dr. Hoffman, I'm really bad. Everything messed up for me. So after class, it shows.
Yeah, I'll stay out. Once I stop the video, if you can stay for a little bit, I'll try to help you troubleshoot. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, or you can export it as a image or PDF, whatever's easier. Okay. Well, I'm just waiting a second for Brian to get back. Okay. Okay, so let's continue. And next step is get the May 2024 through April 2025 monthly forecast for the simple forecasting method that you chose. Likely the naive method, but might be some better options up to your analysis. Use R code as a reference. Okay, so all you're gonna do is use this command, but type in the number fit that you chose. So naive is fit 2. So forecast equals forecast fit. If you chose naive, change that to 2. If you chose any of the other fits, then type in the fit you chose. Okay, so that's it. Let's take this command, both of these. So we're gonna get the forecast and then get the forecast numbers. So this will give us a 12-month forecast using the naive method, which is basically gonna be the same number from what was the last observed number. There you go, okay? So what you're looking for is basically if your last, it should be the last, if you kind of look up at your data set and scroll down to the bottom, my last observation was $74.26. And that's my naive forecast, because I'm assuming if I don't have any information that's gonna lead me to go one way or the other, I'll just go with that. So naive forecast will just be what your last observation was. So you can double check that, but that's what you should be seeing here. Now, it's probably gonna be wrong going forward, but if you don't know which way to predict, then you know your safest bet might just be, let's assume it's gonna be the same. Okay? All right, and then save your progress, which means like when you close out RStudio, just hit the save button. And then for your paper presentation, include a plot of the 12-month forecast that you chose, which is gonna be one of the, whichever one, if it's naive, then you can toggle around and you chose from the drift, naive, mean, and seasonal naive. So you can just go back to the one you chose. For Schwab, it was the naive. So you can click on this button that says export, save image as, and you've got to tell the directory where to save it. Okay. I'll just, that's good. So it'll give you, you can call it rplot or rplot, whatever you want to call it. I'll call it naive. And then save. Okay, and then you should have a saved.
Blue block, like new block after saving.
So just double check that you have the PNG file, the JPEG, whatever it is. Should look something like that. And then you can just drop and drag that into your paper, and you can drop and drag that into your discussion area.
Or clear all the information from the last week, we don't need that.
Not yet, no.
So,
Well, what you actually, sorry, what you do need is the point forecast, but it's gonna, if you're doing it using naive, it's gonna be just the last value of 70, whatever your last observation was.
that one number.
Yeah, unless it's unless it's changing, unless it's,
No.
yeah, okay. No, you can do that too. Okay, so everyone should have the plot with the forecast and then the values of the forecast, which will likely be just the same naive forecast going forward. Okay. Now, still have step 5 to do, and then I can try to help with some troubleshooting.
Did you use a screenshot to say that? That's good.
Yeah, well, you're also gonna, if you scroll down to part 6, which is just the summary table, I wanted you to make something like this where you have all the dates you're predicting, the trend line forecast, the linear reg forecast, and then naive. So you can just, this one's the easiest because it's the same number, but, so you can copy and paste it if you want, but just. Mhm. We're about to do, yeah. Okay, continue. All right, step 5 is to do the final part of the analyses, which is the regression with the trend and seasonal dummy variables. And likely you're gonna get something where you don't have a seasonal aspect, but it's a good way to practice this model. So fit a regression line with a trend and seasonal dummy variables to get a 1-year forecast of your stock. So in RStudio, run a regression on your stock's price time series, implementing a trend and a seasonal dummy variable, get a summary of the regression results, and then use the R code provided as a reference. So go back to the same document you're modifying. The stuff you need is just down here. So really all you have to modify is fit5 equals time series linear model, and then your data is the data name. So it's SCHW for me, but everything else you can leave as the default. So make that, and then see we're fitting a time series linear model on your data set with the trend and a seasonal aspect. Oops.
We copy and paste it again. Just reg.
What did I just do? I think I just. Okay, so not this part, just this part,
Just below the fit.
just the fit5. Okay. Okay, fit5 goes in RStudio. Enter, and then again, no errors means, you know, no errors, good news. All right, then type in summary fit5, which will give you the results from your regression. No changes needed. Enter. Okay, so we should get here that you see it fits the model where you're fitting a trend and a seasonal dummy, set of seasonal dummies. You're likely to get that none of the seasons are significant, because if you're looking at the T values, they're all pretty low. But likely to get a result where the trend is significant. And RStudio tells you what's significant with little stars. So if you don't see any stars, that coefficient is not significant. So it's the expected result is that the trend is significant, but none of the seasons are significant. Yeah. Oh, not for the intercept? Yeah. Oh, you might, did you type in? I don't know. So I got the model, the little summary stats, residuals, the coefficients, and then significance codes, and then R squared. And
know.
Okay.
Same thing.
I think it's just putting this, like, this column on line right here. And it's like random rows, and so now you have like less margin.
Oh, okay, so this would be up here.
Yeah,
Okay, all right. Okay.
yeah, you just have a different margin.
Okay, so this last column would be.
Right. Yeah, see how here's the p-value, and for some reason yours just like went to the next line. Yeah, nice. Okay, so looks like, so the important thing in this, what is it called? Regression results, is that you first save a screen cap of the results. So let me see if I can get enough. I don't know. It probably doesn't matter. But why don't you, while we're here, it works?
How did you get that one?
Okay. Yeah. So I'll just take a screen cap of this part to like put into your paper later. So what you would do here is just snip tool. Okay, and if you can get all this, it's like a little. So basically from the call part down to like the p-value. Okay. And then maybe just save that somewhere. Let's call this linear reg. Save. Okay, so again, just double check that you got that accessible.
Linear array.
Yeah. There we go. So something like this. Nice little, and maybe might even like put that in your appendix, because. Okay, now. What do I do with the Word document? All right, sorry, we left off at step. Okay, we're at step 5B, right? Okay, everybody good to continue? All right, B, step 5B, get a 1-year forecast using the trend seasonal dummy variable reg. Get the point forecast for each month from May 2024 to April 2025, and use R code as a reference. So here we go. This you can just type in exactly as it is, fcast 5 equals forecast fit 5, h equals 12 for 12 months. Okay, no errors is what you're looking for. Then type in fcast 5, which will give you all the point forecasts. Okay, and by point forecast, I mean like, then if you continued with the trend upwards, these would be the predictions. So it might be a bit lower than your, what was my, 74 was my point forecast. I mean, my seasonal naive, and the trend gives me a little bit lower. So these are your values under point forecasts for the linear reg that go into the final table at the end. Okay.
Taking a screenshot of that, yeah.
You can, it depends on, you might as well just to keep it, you know, in case you close out of it. You can cut and paste. You can do that, but it's gonna be like, you have to manipulate things. It's probably easier just to cut and paste each one or type it in. And it's only like a, well, yeah. I mean, that's, yeah. It'll take you a few minutes, maybe. A table like this. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, you don't need all that. All right, so we'll take a screen cap here for reference. Even though you probably need to type it anyways, but. Okay, save that. Oh, this can't go back to where. Okay, I'll call this, regression forecast, or reg forecast. Okay, we have that. Okay, where are we? Let's see. Yeah, so get forecast errors from this regression forecast. That's optional because you're really not choosing between anything. It's just if you want to get them. And then get a plot of the forecast from the linear regression model. Use our code as a reference. So last couple things for this is you can do accuracy fit 5, just if you want to see how well the model did. You don't need to put this in your paper, but just as. So not great compared to, you know. And then last thing is just type in plot forecast 5 or copy and paste plot forecast 5, and that should give you. Right. What's happened? Okay, plot forecast 5. There we go. So you should get something that says like forecast from linear regression, where here's your data, and then this is the forecast, which is basically just the trend line or the trend. Okay, and it's a little bit different than the drift method because the drift method would take a line from start to finish, and this gets kind of the average yearly trend. and in this case, linear trend. So if you look at your coefficient for trend, that tells you how much the stock price changed on average each month for whatever the whole period is. So mine went up about 13 cents every month, something like that, on average. Pretty good over a certain number of years. Okay. And so part D, save your progress. For your paper, include regression results, which is nope. This part. And plot of the 12-month forecast, which is this one here, forecast from linear regression model. So we can export that as an image. And I'll call this linear reg forecast. Okay, so you want that. This guy. And then last thing is values from the 12-month forecast, which are going to go into the big table at the end. So I took a screen cap of that, which looks something like this. Nope. This one? Yeah. Okay, so what you need content-wise is the regression results, like this, the graph, like this, and then this you're going to put into the table at the end. This one? Okay. And other than that, you are going to, part 6, make a summary table for the forecast results. And it looks nice to kind of see them all together, even though they're much different methods. And obviously, they can't all be right because there's a pretty wide swing of predictions. But you're going to make a little summary table like this. And here's my example. But basically, what I recommend doing is in the original data set, you can make a separate tab called table. And it doesn't have to be exactly like this, but just kind of set it up where you're showing the dates here of what you're predicting, all the predictions from the trend line forecast, which you already have down here, right? These are your forecasts that you got last time. Then you also want put in the R squared value from the trend line, so for comparison wise. In my case, it's 0.7995. The linear regression forecasts, which are the ones you just got. So just to show you.
And then that table, I labeled that regression coefficient.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what you label because it's just going to be like dropped into your paper anyways. Yeah. Okay. So the linear regression forecasts are coming from here. See how I just kind of put these numbers in a nice little table. All right, and then the R squared should come from the regression results. .70, who's that? And you use the one that says adjusted R squared for this one. So 0.07068. Okay. And then the other thing is the naive forecast. And that shouldn't have an R squared value, or it doesn't, because you're not fitting it. It's not a linear model, and therefore it's not a trend line or a linear model, and it's really just assuming that you're not looking at past performance, you're looking at predicting. So this one's just gonna have the forecast from whatever simple method you chose, likely naive, and then this will kind of be your big summary table. Bit 5, yeah. Yeah, that's the one, yeah.
I did it. The one that, one of the 12-month one, where it's just a small, all the numbers, working with that. I'll come over to it.
Okay, that's the naive one.
Naive.
Yeah. Okay, and then so for next week, if you could just post your results from the simple forecasting and the trend with seasonal dummies into the Blackboard discussion. And I basically just post some screen caps or just some summary of your results. So I know that if you go to Blackboard and you go to discussions, and let's say I'm going to go to just kind of add it to the discussion trend or whatever you call it. So like if I went to Chris's here and he posted the first assignment, I said, looks good or whatever, then just reply to it. And I think you can only put one attachment per reply. So just like keep replying with the attachments, I guess. Yeah, just say like reply and then attach something and you can reply again.
So, apparently I have one of the things I can't spell. So it's going to have regret or scat.
That's fine.
The other one is the forecast, which was very good about the.
Yeah. Actually, maybe an easier way to do this would be to open up a Word document and just kind of drop in the screen caps so they're all in one. Yeah, I think maybe that's, so let me just do one, I'll show you like what I want you to turn in for this week. So let me open up a Word. Okay, so let me just open up a blank Word document for. Okay, so I'll save this. Let's call this project part 2 or something. Okay, and then what you want to put in for this week is screen cap from last week. Plot of the 12-month forecast for the simple forecasting method. So that would be naive. There we go. Then values forecast for the 12 months that will go into the table later. So that's just a, you could take a screen cap of the results like this. Did I do that? Like this part here.
First one's the forecast and naive method, correct?
Yeah. Naive forecast. Okay, so you can put this into your Word doc. Okay. Regression results from the linear. Yeah. Okay. Plot of the 12-month forecast from the linear reg. That's it. Yeah. And values from the linear reg forecast. This one. Yeah, basically. Yeah. So let me, yeah. You don't, that's for later in the paper. You don't have to turn that part in yet. Okay. Okay. So we've got, like everything kind of. Okay. So first thing was the naive method. Yeah. Second thing was the forecast from the naive method, which are these ones. Okay. Third thing was the results from the regression. Next thing was the graph from the linear regression. And then the forecast from that. So let me just go through again real quick. So if you wanted to save your, okay, just save. Okay, so what to turn in for next week? The graph from the simple forecasting method, which is likely naive. The forecast from the simple forecasting method, which is likely naive. The regression results from the trend and seasonal regression. The forecast graph from the linear regression with the trend and seasonal. And then the forecast from that model as well. So basically, 5 different little pieces of content. So, that sounds right, yeah. Okay, and if that's easier, you can just kind of post that, Word doc to the discussions. Okay, and then that part, is due next Saturday, under discussions? No, not yet, yeah, just those things. Okay, and then just going forward, the final paper is due the 18th, so that's, I think, in 2 weeks. So get started on that when you have a chance, but you're basically just describing what you found here. And then the summary table, step 6, will go into your, um, your paper and your PowerPoint, where you're showing the dates that you're predicting, the next 12 months, the linear regression forecast that you got from the trend line. The trend line forecast that you got from the trend line with the R squared, the linear regression forecast you just got today, with the R squared, and then the naive or whatever seasonal or simple forecasting method you chose. So you can see the monthly, 12-month forecast for each and compare them. Okay, and then when you get to the paper, you're gonna have a little intro. You'll have a little analysis where you're basically putting the results in and talking about what you found. Interpret the results from the CAPM. How does it compare to the market? Why do you think that is? What's the best trend line forecast? If it's naive, you're gonna just make the argument that you don't know how the stock's gonna change. And therefore, your best guess is what just happened recently because you don't have any information to think otherwise. Oh, sorry, that was for this one. Trend line is the one you got from the trend line. This one. Okay. So you're gonna put that graph in there and talk about that. Why does the stock has grown a nonlinear rate? You can expect it to do so going forward for whatever reason. Okay, best simple forecasting method, which is probably naive because you don't know how to make predictions without information. Findings from the trend seasonal reg, is the trend or seasonal part significant? And likely the trend is, but not the seasonal part. And make sure you interpret this coefficient for trend. And remember, that is the average trend over time. So this would imply that Charles Schwab's stock had a trend of about 13 cents more each month over time. So each monthly trend was an increase or an average increase of about 13 cents. So whatever your estimate is there, interpret that kind of like that, where I'm not sure what it is, but it's
My question is, based off of, so we're like interpreting the difference, two different steps we just did last week.
yes.
And then, are we gonna, we're like, getting, we're what, is that gonna be included in the paper, like in the body of the paper?
Yeah, yes, yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, everything you're turning into discussion is gonna go into the paper. I'm just kind of checking in to make sure you're on the right track. And
It seemed like, it said like roughly 10 pages. You just explained that. Is it like, the documents and the pictures and stuff are gonna take up some of the.
that's correct, yeah. Yeah, likely half of this will be just graphs,
You just explained it like we ran this.
yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah, no, no,
You just have to explain what you did.
right. Yeah. Yeah, as long as you explain everything, the 10-page limit, or 10-page was just a, I don't know, rule of thumb, or,
So it's gonna have like a little bit for each, for this.
yeah.
Introduction.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah, that's, yeah. Okay, and then, include any relevant figures and tables. Make sure you include the table that compares the monthly forecasts for each of the 3 forecasting methods, which is this table, or this table for your, yeah, and any conclusion that you think, like, what did you learn, or what did, like, what are some suggestions or areas for further research, something like that. And this is just everyone's stockages. Okay. So main part is try to get this part done by next, or basically these 2 parts done. And then once you got the analysis done, you can kind of start working on the paper and the presentation and so on. So yeah, again, doesn't have to be a whole lot of writing, as long as you kind of explain everything properly. A lot of the pages can be taken up by the graphs and. Okay,
So essentially, we did the second portion of the homework.
yes, yeah. Okay. All right, so questions on what to do for this? Just gotta do it? Just good. Okay. All right, I'm gonna stop the recording, and then I know that, Noble, if you're still there, I can try to help you with your R.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, I'm gonna stop the recording, and then I'll stay on for office hours or whatever, QA, QC. Okay. So let's recorder.